Does someone want to explain to me what the hell we're doing at school? And in the middle of the night?
Hey, quiet, you guys, come on. I'm trying to teach a class here.
Yeah, I'm just a little confused how we got here is all.
That doesn't matter. God. Alright, you want to play White Day in VR?
I want to know what the hell I'm doing here.
Shut up! Do you want to play White Day in VR? Then we can all leave.
Oh, gee, yeah, sure, I guess. Yeah, okay.
Alright. God, is that so hard? Jeez. Okay. So let's start up this projector here. Alright. Okay. So let's check this slide. First thing you gotta do, go to the link in the description. Alright. Download the VRgin template. Okay. Open it up. Copy those files. Now go to your game directory, open that up. Paste the files in there. Alright? Take the whiteday.exe and paste it on the IPA. Let the patcher do its thing. Alright? That's it. We're ready to go. But before you can play, go into your Steam. Right click on the game. Go to Properties. Uncheck Play in Steam VR Desktop Theater. That's very important. Uncheck it. Alright. Now when you boot up the game, it's going to be in VR. If you want to change any settings, that can be done. If you go back to your game directory after running the game once, you're going to see two .xml files. You can open them up in Notepad. One of them is your settings. So a few things of note. Where you see IPD, that's actually for world scale, so you can adjust that if you find the world too big or too small. The angle of the screen curvature, is your 2D screen too curved? Do you want it less curved? Do you want it flat? That's all possible. It's all done by degrees. And if you look to the bottom, you're going to see hotkeys that you can use within the game to change things, such as recentering your camera, attaching the camera, changing camera positions if they're available, all that kind of thing. Alright, so yeah, that's basically it. Any questions?
I don't know,
Listen, if you got questions, this is going to be longer, so do you have any questions, guys?
No questions.
Okay, jeez. Shit. Class dismissed.
Yahoo!
See y'all in game.
VRified Games.
What's up, player? Yeah, living that talking head. Coming to you live with Daigo in VRified Games. How we doing, Daigo?
Hey Ed, how's it going?
Man, it's going, man. It's going like a hot knife through butter.
Oh, so pretty smooth then.
Smooth as silk, baby. So what is it we're doing today?
Well, Ed, when you think survival horror, there are some tentpole titles. So you got like Resident Evil / Biohazard, you got your Silent Hill. They'd be like the pinnacle series when you think survival horror. Now, for every Resident Evil and Silent Hill, there is a bazillion clones out there. A bazillion other games that try to emulate what has come before. Now, there are some diamonds in the rough. There are some cult favorites such as Fatal Frame / Project Zero, for instance. But another cult favorite, especially in Asia, would be White Day. Now, White Day was released way back in 2001 for PlayStation 2 and Windows, and it was released in the West. In some territories it's known as The School or Labyrinth, but it's all the same game.
Okay, cool. What's that got to do with today?
Well, Ed, what we're looking at is the remake, actually the second remake of White Day, a labyrinth named School. So as I said before, White Day was released in 2001. It was remade in 2009 as a mobile game in the Asian territories, chiefly South Korea.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was a pretty faithful retelling of the original game, but in 2D rather than 3D. So there has been huge interest, especially in South Korea, for the White Day games, and subsequently the game was remade in 2015 on Unity Engine.
Okay.
Now this one was a breakout success. It sold huge amounts in Asia, sold huge amounts in the West, gained critical acclaim. It now enjoys the status of a cult favorite. And the reason we're looking at it today is because, as I previously mentioned, it was built on Unity Engine. Now, if you've watched our last video, you'll know that we've been trying to get Unity games in VR using two pieces of software. We will try VRgin Template or Ricopartis VR Unity Patcher. Now, this game will boot with both patchers. However, with Rise Unity VR Patcher, the camera is detached from the body. So essentially what that means is your camera is in a fixed position, your body is free to move around the environment and you can observe it. It's basically a fixed camera but unplayable. Like, the camera does not switch in location. Like, you literally spawn into the level and your character moves around. Once he rounds a corner, he's gone. So it's absolutely unplayable. So luckily, this actually boots with VRgin Template also, and the camera is attached to the player body, which is great. So, in our last video, Lust from Beyond VR, we used Rise Patcher, and you saw that we had to use another piece of software called OVR Advanced Settings to kind of help manipulate the camera. That's not needed with VRgin Template, it simply boots in. Now, another cool feature that VRgin Template has that Rise Patcher does not have is that all the UI, all the menus, etc., they are viewable within VR on a curved screen, which is nice. It's neat. So you don't need to use the Steam VR desktop viewer hack that we had to use in the previous video either. It's just all in the one software. Now, in saying that, just like with Rise Patch, it's not without flaws. So VRgin Template hasn't received an update in a long time, you guys. It only works with a handful of games, and those games that it do work with tend to be broken in some way, shape or form. And this is no different. Now, while I'm showcasing the better experiences that we've had with Lust from Beyond VR and now this one, it's not without flaws. So the cutscenes are very broken in White Day. Like, they do work, don't get me wrong, but they are broken. Your camera remains attached to the player model, which is what you would kind of want in a VR conversion, but it doesn't always follow the action because the camera is basically hacked in. Some of the ways the programmers got around doing certain actions and cutscenes are visible, and it's hard to explain, but you can see the corners that they cut, and it completely takes you out of the experience. So for the purpose of this video, I have edited, wherever I see issues, I have edited in the original 2D cutscene. Now, while the cutscenes will work in VR, they do not work well. So just putting that out there. Button prompts, you will not see button prompts maybe 60% of the time, but the game itself has this feature where an item that you can pick up will glow, so that's how you know you can interact with it. Now, the button prompt being missing is kind of an annoyance, shall we say, because you can't see exactly where you need to hover in order to interact with it. So you kind of just have to maneuver yourself until the object becomes available to you. So again, if you were playing it in 2D, you would see a little cursor to let you know that you can pick it up now, if you know what I mean. That's not visible in VR, so you just have to kind of maneuver yourself until you pick up the item. Beyond that, it is very, very playable. One of the better experiences I've had getting Unity into VR. Just like Lust from Beyond VR, it's not a million miles away from a VR conversion. The legwork is done by VRgin Template. The UI's in there, the camera's in there. All I can see is really the cutscenes need to be worked on. Button prompts need to be sort of fixed, and maybe motion controls. and you'd have yourself a VR mod. Not only that, but as this game was also released on Android as The School, and the game is virtually identical, just items are placed in different areas, it might also be possible to get that on standalone VR also. But again, I'm just speculating on that. It's just the same exact game, same exact engine. It should work, but again, that's not for me to decide really, I'm just speculating. So yeah, following the success of the White Day remake in 2015, which we're playing today, it was followed up with an actual VR title called The Courage Test. Now, this is an extremely pared down version of the experience you get in the flat screen White Day, but it is very much within that universe. It's a nice little tech demo, I guess you could call it. Nice little experience, but it wouldn't be what I would call a full game, not like what this is. Totally worth it. If you like this, go ahead and download the official VR game, why not? And that's been followed up this year by an actual sequel, White Day 2, The Flowers That Tell Lies. Now, that game had been in development for quite some time. It was originally revealed as a title called White Day 2 Swan Song, and it was supposed to be released on PlayStation 4 with PSVR. God knows what happened there, but the sequel was actually released under a different title only last month on PC, so we'll see if it does come to VR eventually, but I see no mention of it, and I have not played it myself, so I do not know. So what is White Day all about? Well, okay. Kind of a tough one. So to understand what it's about, you have to understand what White Day is. It's basically a festival in Asian countries, and the equivalent would be Valentine's Day in the West. So you get gifts, you give it to your loved one, yada yada. It's essentially Asian Valentine's Day. So the whole premise is, you're a student, you like this girl you see at school, you want to give her a White Day present. Inexplicably, you go to the school in the middle of the night. God knows why. It does get revealed later, but not in the beginning. And you're in the school, you want to hide this present for her, and shit starts popping off. I mean, there are supernatural elements, there are ghosts, there is a janitor who seems to be possessed by something who's chasing you. Yeah, it's very much survival horror, but it's more gameplay wise, it's more in the vein of hide and seek kind of gameplay that like Alien Isolation, for instance, would have had, or Home Sweet Home, where you evade the enemy, you hide, get your task done, move on to the next section. That's basically the gameplay. There is no autosave. You have to manually save, so that is very much a trope within survival horror. So in place of, say, Resident Evil's ink ribbon and typewriter, what you now have is Sharpie markers and notice boards. So basically you find your Sharpie marker, that's a save, and you use them on notice boards to save your progress. So that's how that works. So that's essentially it. It's very much made for an Asian audience. There are some things that don't translate one-to-one to the West, but it's still very, very enjoyable. Still a great time. You will be left scratching your head at the beginning like, what the hell is going on? But I promise you answers do come. They are satisfying. So as I said, this series has enjoyed success since 2001. It's got this huge following in Asia. It's started since 2015 to get a following over here in the West. Well worth your time. It's even spawned a movie version, which was released as Labyrinth over here in the West, or White Day in the East. Now, is the movie worth your while? Well, let's put it this way. Video game adaptations into movie or TV series form, has that ever really worked apart from The Last of Us? Has it really? Just think about that. There's your answer. That's as diplomatic as I can be. Okay guys, so enjoy this gameplay anyway. If there are any Unity titles you'd like me to try with either VRgin template or Rikaparta's Unity VR patcher, please let me know. Have you tried these patches yourselves? What have your experiences been? What games have you tried? Let me know. If there are any games you'd like me to try and VRify in the future, for whatever platform, whatever engine, yada yada yada, just let me know and we'll see what we can do. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, that's it. VRified Games out.
Yeah, VRified Games. School's out. Fall, summer.
What?
How do we get in?
Yeah, I wonder how we can do it. Ah! Oh my, you totally startled me just then. Oh, I've seen him. He's a new transfer student.
Really?
Anyway, I'm leaving. See ya.
I'm Sung-Ah Kim, homeroom 8. This was out of the blue. But it's nice to meet you. So why did you come to school at this hour? Yeah? I'm glad that you're here. You are going to help me out. Just something. Follow me. Ji-Hyun and I didn't know what we were going to do. Goodness, a guy like you should... Welcome! First time in the girls' bathroom? Why? Worried I want something weird? I left my book in the home ec room. I can't get in because it's locked. I happen to know that the keys are in the auto shop classroom, but it's locked as well. But you can crawl through that vent up there and get me the keys. You want me to do it myself? Thank you. I knew that you'd help. We'll need a ladder, and we'll also need some sort of cutting tool. Why don't you look around? Not bad. Thanks a lot. You're not trying to scare me, are you? I'm not that gullible. Oh, but did you know? This school used to be a hospital during the Korean War. Rumor has it the whole school is haunted because so many people died here during that time. Maybe the rumor's true. I mean, especially on a night like this. Boo! Did I scare you? I guess you don't like ghost stories, huh? Oh, the doors are probably all locked by now. They lock all the doors after 10, except for the lecture hall lobby, that is. If we want to leave, we have to go to the lecture hall. You know the new lecture hall here are all connected, right? Here. This is the key to that hallway there. Could you open it on your way out? I still have something to do.
That was close. If you sneak in at night, the janitor gets terribly angry. If he catches you, the punishment is harsh. That's scary. Why would you say something like that? You're the transfer student. I'm in your homeroom. Remember? You know So-young? Well, I guess everybody knows her, actually. I'm Ji-yeon-sol. You're Human Lee, right? Anyway, what are you doing here at this hour? Oh, really? Tell me something. I always see you alone. Don't you have friends? Okay. Okay, I'm going to go now. Be careful.
Bye.